Hello, everyone. Today starts week 6 of our DCPS distance learning. As you know, we've been reading about two of the three big countries in the continent of North America. This week, we'll focus on Mexico. Before we get started, let's take a look at our foundational literacy assignments for today. So, today our objective is to learn about the long vowel digraphs OA, OW, and OE by reading words with the digraphs. So we're going to look at our directions first. See a picture of a boat, and it says beside it, remember, words have syllables. There is one vowel sound in each syllable. If one syllable word has two vowels, the first vowel is usually long and the second vowel is usually silent. The letters OA, OW, and OE can stand for the long vowel O sound. And the little note says, you can find foundational literacy lessons supporting today's learning on the DCPS YouTube channel. You can. All right, there's a picture of a toe, and that toe is spelled O-E, the long O-E sound. That's the additional spelling this week. Remember last week we dealt with O-A and O-W? Now O-E also says O. So we're going to circle and write the word that best completes each sentence. So if you look at your very next page, there are 8 sentences. And the first one reads like this. At night, I like to blank in the tub. So your words are sold, soak, sock. Which one goes in the blank? Write it on the blank. Number 2, I take a big bar of blank with me. Would it be snow, soup, soap? Number 3, I like to put a little blank in the tub. Would it be bite, boat, blown? Number 4, I watch it blank in the water. Float, fold, flat. Number 5, sometimes I try to blank in the tub. Robe, row, rower. Number 6, but the water is too blank. Lame, lake, low. Number 7, at last I let the water blank down the drain. Flow, flag, fog. Number 8, after a bath, I try not to look and feel like a blank. Top, toad, tray. Remember, you're looking for the long O sound to fill in the blank. So next we're going to move into the vocabulary section of our lesson, located on page 6 in the work packet. So our objective here for today is to explore the topic of North America and learn vocabulary words that you will see as you read and write about Mexico. So the directions for this assignment is to fill in the word chart, read the words in the table below, then read the example word chart that's coming up, complete the word chart for the word ancient. Write a definition of the word in your own words. Draw an illustration of the word. Write a question using the word. Write an example of something that is not the word. And then answer the question about civilization. So we've got a lot to do. So let's just break it down. So our first activity, you see here a chart with the vocabulary words located on the left, the first column. And in the second column, you'll have the definitions for each word. The third column is using the words in context. In other words, just use the words in a sentence. And then the last column, visual representation, what that word would look like All right, so let's look at the first word. Everybody put your finger on the word civilization. So civilization is a noun, which means it's either a person, place, or a thing. So it's a thing. All right, the definition of civilization in the next column says an advanced state of development of a society as judged by such things as having a system of government and laws, using written language, and keeping written records. Okay, all right. So the next column says, using the word in context, this land was once part of the Mayan civilization. And that's going to be located in paragraph 3 of our text that we haven't seen yet. The visual representation is a picture of what civilization looked like. Okay, you see a lot of man-made things, right? Okay, next word, going back to that first column, it says ancient culture. That's also a noun, it's a thing. All right, the definition of ancient culture says a group of people from a long time ago that spoke a specific language, created inventions, and had a special type of art. And in context, it says it was an ancient culture. All right, and the photograph there is something from ancient culture. Okay. The next word, natural resources, a noun, which is a thing. All right. The definition, materials that are found in nature and that can be used by people in many ways. Fresh water, soil, coal, and forest are all examples of natural resources. All right. And the word in context, or word in a sentence, this country is rich in natural resources. That's also going to be found in the text. All right, and then there's a visual representation, which is a picture of, looks like a forest, and I believe that's water there, some trees, natural resources, not man-made. All right, economic is an adjective. An adjective is a word that describes something. All right, so economic means having to do with money and the production of goods and services. All right, and in a context or sentence, yet economic problems have kept many people in poverty. That's also in your text. Um, the way they represent a visual representation of economics, you see money and you see a calculator, right? So anything economic has to do with money. We're going to go to the next page. This next page, you have your last two vocabulary words. Now, this one is poverty, which is a noun, a thing, which means the condition of being poor, a lack of money. And then in context, it says, yet economic problems have kept many people in poverty. All right. And looking at that picture there, there's a person with an empty wallet. And usually when you see an empty wallet, that means no money, poverty, right? Okay. Last word, vocabulary word, settlers. That is also a noun. A group of people who move to live in a new country or area that may or may not have people already living there. And then the sentence is the Spanish settlers lost. And then there's a picture of people coming in ships to a new place. Sometimes you might think around Thanksgiving you see pictures of pilgrims and Indians. Well, the pilgrims were the settlers. The pilgrims were the ones that came from a foreign country into a new land to settle. All right. Now, right under the last vocabulary word on the chart, you'll see a word chart example. Now remember, you've been asked to make your own word chart for the word ancient culture. But right now, they're going to give you an example of what that should look like. So they're using the word settlers as the example. So you see the word settlers in the middle of your page. In the first box, you're going to put your meaning in your own words for settlers. So this one says settlers are people who come to a new land to live. Okay, so that could be in your own words. Right across from that, you'll see the box that says illustration. So in the illustration box, they have a picture of some people in a house and a land. So this is letting us know that people come to a new land to live, right? Down at the bottom on the left, you have to write a question using the word settlers. So the question that was written here is, why did settlers leave their home and move somewhere new? Good question. All right. And in the last box, it says what the word is not. So what settlers does not mean. Okay. So this example says a settler is not someone whose ancestors have lived on the land for a long time. Great. Now, if you look at the next page, it's your turn to fill out your word chart, and right in the middle is the word ancient culture. So your job is to put the meaning of ancient culture in your own words. And one quick clue, you can go back and see what the vocabulary chart says about ancient culture, and then you can turn that into your own words, right? And look at the next box right across from it. It says illustration. Now, if you look to see what ancient culture means on the chart, there's also an illustration there. Maybe you can think of an illustration to go with your definition of ancient culture. I know in my mind, it comes to mind the Egyptian ancient culture, and the pyramids would be my illustration, but you use whatever you want. Okay, look down at the bottom where it says write a question using the word. So you're going to write a question using the word ancient culture. All right, and that last box, you have to tell what ancient culture is not. So you have to know what it is to know what it is not. That's all I can tell you there. Okay, so put your video on pause. Let's take a few minutes to fill that out. Meet you in a few minutes. Okay, your few minutes is over and we're back. All right, so the last part of your assignment for today is to look at page 9. And on page 9, you'll see a page that has the word civilization in a blue box. Your job is to look at that blue box and look at the pictures in it. And then at the bottom, it says, think about how our civilization is affected by what is happening right now with the coronavirus. And then write a sentence explaining your ideas. Now I'd go back to that blue box civilization and look what it says underneath. All right, live near water, farming, cities, specialized jobs, writing, arts and culture. All of these things make up civilization, right? So what I do, I think about all of these things, all of these pictures that I'm looking at now, and I'm thinking about how we're living right now, why I'm on a video talking to you instead of the classroom. What is happening right now that's affecting civilization? What's happening right now with the coronavirus that affects our farming, our cities, our jobs, our writing, and our arts and cultures? How is this affecting it?